the last complete Tiffany religious interior left intact in its original location in the world.
And this is the only one left, and that's amazing that this survived.
Any town in America would be proud to have and proud to show off to people, but other towns don't have it. Auburn has this.
I've always thought that the chapel should be a vivid reminder of just how much the rest of the country owes to this part of the world.
I didn't like the fact that it was threatened. I did not appreciate at the time the notion that he was going to turn the place into a discotheque.
Ordinary people who really put themselves out on a limb to save the chapel.
So my hat's off to them. I think they deserve a lot of credit for putting their financial welfare and that of their families on the line.
There's a lot more than a building here. There's soul here. It's the souls of the peoples that gave themselves to this place to make it something.
This church building in Auburn, New York, is an important part of America's heritage and a significant work of art recognized around the world. If its carved wooden walls could talk, they would bear witness to some of America's most important political and religious leaders of the past 2 centuries. They would echo the refrains of joyous songs of praise, sung by generations of faithful worshipers. They would tell the story of how one of America's most celebrated designers fashioned a glorious house of worship for a theological seminary in upstate New York, and how a small group of dedicated citizens risked their own futures to preserve this treasure from their past. This is Willard Memorial Chapel, aptly dubbed the Tiffany Treasure of the Finger Lakes. Listed on the National Register of Historic Places, it attracts thousands of visitors each year. But this Tiffany treasure may not immediately jump to mind when people think of Auburn. The city is perhaps better known for some of its other important historical figures and the structures that bear their names. The Seward Mansion, home of Secretary of State William Seward, and the Harriet Tubman home, a reminder of Auburn's proud legacy on the Underground Railroad. And the city may be best known today for another structure, the imposing concrete walls of the Auburn Correctional Facility. But Willard Chapel is unique, both because of its history and its pedigree. The chapel is the only unaltered religious building in its original location with an interior completely designed by Louis Comfort Tiffany. It is astonishing just how closely tied this building is to some of the most important events and people in history, from upstate New York to the far reaches of the earth. Equally remarkable is how this awe-inspiring chapel survived 3 separate scares that could have destroyed it. The story of Willard Chapel is the testimony of people of faith and vision, people who followed their callings and left a lasting legacy.